Hello, we're back. Ross ate his noodles and
I burnt the inside of my mouth.
shut up, no one cares. Anyway, now we're going to speak about our main topic this week, which is the question of can you be good without God?
Ooh.
Deep, meaningful convo. Hashtag controversial.
Wait, I can't think of it.
Anyway,
not really controversial at the moment.
who wants to go first?
You can go first.
I always go first.
Is that not like your thing? You're not kind of like the leader?
I introduced
What's
us.
his idea?
Yeah.
It wasn't actually, it was his idea.
Yeah, but you came up with the topic, so...
I feel like
No,
Andrew
it's
just
him.
is the boss.
I didn't come up with the topic.
Oh, him, I'm flying it,
What kind
Ross.
of me?
You sent me the remember, you picked
Oh, no,
up
yeah,
the-
I sent you this. I thought you meant the whole Chatterbox thing. I was like,
No.
this is not my fucking idea.
Alright, okay. Well, Ross, you start off. See as it was your idea.
Seeing as you went to Catholic school, you weirdo.
Yeah, you weirdo.
Catholicism number one.
Okay, so is it can we be good without God?
Yeah.
And I've got to talk about...
Yes.
Well, should I explain what I think it means?
Go on.
Go for it.
I think it means... You're saying can we be good without God, as in like the way that people define what is right and wrong, a lot of the time they define it by the guidelines in the Bible
Or
Like-
the Quran,
or the Quran or whatever
The
the fuck. But let's
Torah.
call it the Bible because Catholic school.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically like because in the Bible it'll say something like, "Oh, thou shalt not like shag your neighbour's wife" or something because that's no right.
Commit adultery.
And like that's what's like considered right and wrong because in the Bible it said that, but like without the Bible, without a set of guidelines telling us what's supposed to be right and what's supposed to be wrong,
Would be shagging Abadi.
would they like?
Which is what happens.
We'd
Could-
folk me in the
could we
back
be
garden
good?
shagging
but like,
frogs and that.
Slimy.
I think it's stupid because like without the Bible, like people are like you're gonna know what's right and wrong. Like if like say like I don't know, well, I won't use you because you actually have a girlfriend. See you, right? See Daniel. If Daniel had a girlfriend, and Neil was like, you know, Daniel was happy. Daniel was over the moon, and Neil sees her and he goes, "Oh, she's about 5 foot. I'll take that." So then, and then. So basically, Daniel walks in, Neil's pumping his bird. And...
Pumping his bird.
Pumping his bird.
Lovely.
And, so yeah, like, that would be, like, that would still be considered wrong. Even if the Bible said, "Don't do it," like, we would consider that that's wrong.
you
That's
don't-
still wrong. Like,
Yeah.
Bro
the
code.
Bible
Yeah.
doesn't mean...
Bro
yeah,
code.
bro code,
It's
exactly.
stronger than
It's not even the bro, it's just being a moral
It's just
Exactly,
decency.
yeah.
Like,
It's
don't
a-
shag Daniel's girlfriend.
It is 100% proven that you can be good without God because the plenty people don't believe in God and are good people.
Like,
Yeah, but
us.
then the religious argument is that I'm just putting this out here so it's like a discussion. The religious argument would be that society was built upon religious pretext, and it was
It
that.
was built.
Yeah.
And the only reason people have the moral compass they do now is because they've grown up in a society which teaches that way, which ultimately derives from godly teachings. However, I don't believe that because there is examples of morality within animals.
There's
So it's
plenty-
clearly not just a human thing.
Like, humans have a lot of compassion and we enjoy helping other people. Like you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think
you
about
get
it, but
enjoyment
then
out
once
of
you're
it.
helping
Yeah.
someone or you're giving someone something, you do feel happy about it. And that's just
Yeah, like,
yeah.
but like that's what I'm saying. They did experiments with capuchin monkeys to see if like they showed morality, and they were doing this thing where like they'd be given treats, and then they'd both be given treats, and then they'd do the task again, and only one of them would be given treats, and the other one, no, it wouldn't share. It just
Yeah,
wouldn't take its treat until it saw the other one get his one as well.
Yeah.
So it's not even like
Does the thing I said before we started recording count
well,
about fuck what was it? Oh yeah, that religion conforms to society, like social norm. Like,
what do you mean?
well, like the Bible had the whole thing like stone a woman, like women are men's property.
Yeah, also the Bible teaches that there's the Bible
Yes.
says that slavery is fine.
No, there's a
Bible
whole
says
section on
you're
like
very wrong.
buying slaves, like the rights and the way to buy a slave and what you should do with your slave and stuff. But
That's another thing.
That's what we're
But,
talking
like-
about, picking and choosing what's
Yeah.
right and what's
Yeah,
wrong.
that's what we were talking about before. Like, the Bible used to say shit like stoning and stuff, but then like when they decided stoning women was bad, like all the Bible folk are like, no, you don't actually pay attention to that part. And I think I heard the same thing with the Book of Mormons or something.
Yeah,
it might
well,
be.
they used to think black people
Yeah.
were like a cursed race that were neither.
But then
But
they
then they had
changed.
to
They
remove
changed like
that.
like after the whole 60s thing,
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
black people being allowed to like be people.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, then the guy, what did he do? He came out the next day and he was like, I
I've heard
had a
from
dream
God, yeah.
and God spoke to me and he was like, let the black man into your heart but not your home. So
He's nae bad.
wait,
He's
or was it
alright.
no, not in your home. In your home? Wait. I don't know.
Yeah, it's close
Say
enough.
saying not in your
Yeah,
home
just-
like kind of indicates that you're not going to keep him as a slave anymore, but at the same time it kind of sounds like you're just like
Yeah,
don't
no,
let
but-
don't let black
But
people
don't
into your
trust
home.
him. But don't trust him.
I do think-
we
But
did
leave
go
it, but
through
make sure to lock your doors.
centuries of slavery. They're probably a little.
They might be a little
still.
pissed.
I do think that religious people might feel a bit more compelled to be moral people, like because to them there's a
There's a reason.
behind
There's a
it,
payoff.
and if you don't do it, then they believe that it will end badly for them.
Yeah.
So to them, there's more of a reason to be moral, but I don't think you need God to be good,
No.
or you.
No.
Because having God within your heart doesn't necessarily mean you're a good person, and having no God within your heart doesn't mean
Well,
you're a
you
bad
know,
person.
4 people in this room right now. None of us believe in God, and we're all good people.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like any of us are like we're just
Not
people.
saints. We're
Yeah,
good
no one's
people.
like that's the funny thing. Like describing someone as a saint
Yeah.
means that they're like you see them as like this amazing person, and that comes from obviously religious pretext as well.
Yeah.
But it's like all religions teach different moral teachings.
Yeah, like
So-
well, when you think about it, like say extremists and stuff like that, like they do a religion, like a prayer before they even do what they're way to do. Like
Yeah,
say
because they
either
believe they're
gonna
doing
blow
it for
up
the good
or-
of God.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. Like all different, like Muslims aren't allowed to eat pig because pigs are filthy in their culture, and that is literally a teaching.
Yeah.
And to them, eating pigs is like wrong and like
Exactly.
immoral.
Even
Whereas-
though I had pig this morning, it was delicious.
They are fine.
Whereas here, or like Christian, that's not a thing. Like so, how can you say that one religion is the moral compass for the world and and then dismiss all the other ones?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I've never got. Like, how can you choose one religion knowing that there's all these hundreds upon thousands of other
Well-
religions and just be like, this one's right, the others are all crap.
Yeah.
Religion,
Like, how you do
religious
that.
people are 99% as much atheists as atheists are. Because the only religion they believe in is their own one. So
Yeah.
then every other one they don't believe in, atheists just take it that one step further and don't believe any
That
of them.
one.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It's like us with Miller earlier. What were we talking about with Zeus? Religion.
Oh, yeah,
was
like-
today.
You're
yeah, eventually, that's the thing, eventually people won't relate it to religion because they'll just be like, yeah, we are just moral beings. Because religion just comes and goes. People seem to think that it's going to be eternal, but how many people do you know that worship Zeus or Mars
The whole thing,
Or-
Christianity hasn't been around that long.
or the Nordic gods? Like, no one worships that anymore.
Yeah, no, because like
It'll
is
die
it not
out.
like all the Christian Catholic folk are like, oh, that's silly thinking there's a harvest god. There's no harvest god. There is just the one.
One
who
god,
controls
yeah.
all hang.
It's,
Like as if they
Never considered that
No,
God
'cause-
could maybe like outsource and
subsection.
yeah,
Like he could hire folk to
That's
do
what I mean,
shit
like,
they
when
doesn't
they-
want to do.
I don't know, like,
He's
and
that can't be fucking
there have been
harvest.
plenty of very immoral things done in the name of God.
Crusades.
Yeah,
Well,
the
yeah,
Crusades is a
yeah.
prime
Majority, yeah.
example. Like,
Sorry, I need to cough.
then
didn't
For that
expect
period
you
of
to have a
time,
quiet
there's a good chance that more
the KKK
moral things-
act under the name of God.
Yeah.
Al Qaeda act under the name of God. The
Different gods,
Mujahideen.
A lot of wars are caused because of religion.
Yeah, like Pakistan and India are at each other's
Yeah.
throats under the name of God. Like it's all.
Actually,
So you can't-
probably most wars. I'm not saying that every single war, but probably most wars are caused because
So
of it.
you can't just turn around and be like, oh, without God you can't be good, and with God you're internally like I don't know, like programmed to be a good person, because it clearly
Yeah.
it's not about what you believe in, it's about the kind of person you are.
The whole Catholic thing's weird as well. Like, you're pretty much good with anything so long as you apologise afterwards.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
yeah.
see,
all you
that's
have
what I
to do
mean.
is you
Like,
need to confess your sins. Like, you go to confession, you're like, yeah, well, so basically, like,
Killed this guy.
my friend, I won't mention his names, we'll call him D. He got a new girlfriend recently, and I was pumping her, but I feel a bit bad for it now, so go and, tell the big man, and he's like, okay, my son, your sins are abolished, you're good now, and then he walks out.
and then these
like, as a good
leaders,
person.
these leaders of these moral societies end up coming out and being like fucking child predators and things like that.
Yeah.
And I know it wasn't all of them, and obviously, like, there are still.
It's not all of them, but there was actually a lot.
No, I don't even mean that. I just mean, like, obviously
priests
there's
even
good, there's good people in every walk of life.
Yeah.
There's good. People love to demonize Islam over here, but the majority of Islamic people are fine.
Yeah.
The majority of Christians are fine. The majority of everybody is fine. There's always going to be those couple of people who ruin it, because
Yeah.
when this argument, this whole if you need God to be good comes up, people like to point out that Stalin was an atheist and what he did was fucking
They want
disgusting.
Well, look at,
Hitler was an atheist, but he wasn't.
Yeah, but Hitler
Yeah, well,
was a Roman Catholic, and he said in his own books that what he was doing was an act
They
of
always
God.
use that as
and you actually look at like.
But,
I hate
like,
it when
if
it-
you're- but I'm saying, like,
he did is
But then if
not.
you're going to point out the worst people of a group, then you also need to point out the best people
Yeah.
of a group.
Like, I hate when people still hate on Germans.
Well,
Just because they
the
still
majority
think
of
that they're
fucking
all like
idiots.
Nazi and everything like that. But
No.
I really get annoyed at it. I mean, I've got a German family and I've been over there and they're lovely people.
It's not even to do with
And-
that. It's just the fact
A
that
lot of the
people,
Germans were against the Nazis.
if people say that, then they're just fucking ignorant, because
It wasn't the Germans
Germans
that were
aren't
evil, it was the
Nazis.
Nazis.
Like,
And Hitler's bodyguard, I was showing Andrew anyway, like he just passed away at 96 the
yeah,
other
this
day.
week, yeah.
And I told my cousin, and she says, well, he shouldn't have been able to live till then anyway. And then I was
Well,
like,
no,
well, no,
it's-
because that if he didn't do his job, then he would have been shot and killed there and then. It's
It's
the same
not,
with
it's
our
not like
army.
he did anything wrong. He's not
Yeah.
the one who fucking.
Did
He's just doing his job, yeah.
Yeah, he was just protecting the leader of his
Yeah.
like,
Well, it's
and he obviously did a
yeah.
good job of it, because
Yeah.
there were so
Somewhat
many.
good job of-
There were so many attempts on
Attempts
Hitler's
on
lives.
Yeah.
But as I'm saying, if you're going to pick out the worst moral people of a group, you also need to point to the best people.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm speaking more than anyone else, and other people need to speak.
Well, the way I see it with religion is that I'm happy enough with other people having a religion.
You know, but
I'm-
what we're saying is,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
think people need religion to be like moral, and if you think religion is religion is built to be a moral compass. I get that, and
Yeah.
I accept the fact that it's put there, and the Ten Commandments are just the best example, because I don't really know about the other religions, are put there as moral guides. However, they were written in. When were they written? Sorry, like I kind of.
like 5,000 years ago.
Like
Right about
things that
4,000.
happened 5,000 years ago aren't applicable now.
Okay. Oh, there was a large majority of them though, where there's still the things where you shall not steal, you shall not commit murder.
Yeah, I know, but there's things like
Yeah, but
thou
people
shalt
know
not
that
covet
anyway.
another covet
Man's wife.
and
Yeah.
covet
Oh.
about like you can't make idols of other gods.
Yeah.
Why is that in there? But
There's a lot of
not
things that
thou
are
shalt
there.
not fucking enslave other people.
Yeah.
Like
It's written in the book to enslave other people.
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like
And you actually probably look
Get
at
it
like
done.
prisons and stuff like that. Look how many religious people are in there.
well, no, a
A
lot
lot
of
of
people
prisoners
do
turn-
not. A lot of
they-
people
they
turn
turn
to God
religion
in
in
prison
prison.
because that's like
Yeah,
just
but you
something.
can't pick and choose.
They're not.
the way
They're
I
not.
see
I'm
it.
saying they turn.
Yeah,
to
but you see people saying, "Oh, I believe in God at this point," but normally I'm just like I'm just
That's
atheist. But
Well,
you
no,
can't
'cause
like as soon as
you
someone
can't.
as
Your-
soon
your
as someone
opinion
opinion
can't.
can ch- it's
Plenty
the
of
thing,
people
your
convert
opinion
to
can
being,
change whenever you
God.
yeah,
want.
but you can't. Yeah, but you can't say like 1 minute. Oh, it's because
No, I'm not
like say
saying
my
that, but you're
wait
saying-
for a second. Yeah, like if you say for like, oh my granda died, so I'm going to be like, oh, like have a prayer. But you're normally an atheist. You can't go and pray over that kind of thing. You've got to keep.
No, I'm-
you've got to have a commitment to it. If
No,
if
it's-
religion is a commitment, not
Things,
just a
no, it's
oh,
not,
just
'cause
turn it off and
things-
on.
Things change. Your opinions change. Opinions
In
change
events
in
in
an
your
instant.
life.
And your grandfather dying or something may make you think, you might want to think that there's a better place for him, and you may start to believe.
That's just my opinion. I think that it's a commitment. It should be a life commitment, not just.
It's not really that simple.
That's just the way I see it. You guys have your own opinion.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why a lot of people in prison are religious, because when they're in there, they're encouraged, to fix their lives and be more moral people, and
they feel by doing that,
by turning to God, they become more moral.
It does sometimes help, because
I think it's bullshit that.
But it helps with rehabilitation in prisons.
Yeah.
I mean, would you rather them go back out again and do the same thing?
I mean,
well, it depends on what they did. They shouldn't get out.
We're not speaking about that today. That's a whole other can of worms to speak about.
What's that saying?
What can of worms?
Open up a can of worms.
Yeah. But no, it's a very.
Used as bait.
Don't have that down in the country.
It's a good point to make that. Are you doing sit-ups?
I did one to get up.
Right. Okay. Well,
You did
fuck
acid.
fidgeting. You've like.
Yeah, you keep moving about.
I fidget
sit
a
still.
lot.
Ross, you say something. You're not speaking again.
That's what I was going to say something. Well, actually, the one thing I was going to say was just my excuse for why I wasn't speaking. I don't know when people wanna I just like listening to people that are smarter than me just speak.
We're not smarter than you.
Yeah, no, but for conversation-y, argument-y, debate-y things, like, you're good, he turns out to be alright. You're a bit thick, but I mean, you go for it.
Yeah.
But
I've got my own arguments.
Like I genuinely just tend to sit back and listen to everyone else.
Usually I'm strong against religion, but I'm just holding it back for the podcast.
I'd be a lot better, but I'm really freaking tired. I literally just fell asleep a second ago, and that's when I went, whoa. If nobody knows,
I mean, that boring Neil.
No,
Neil took tramadol last night, and since then he's. Would you stop jumping about?
I didn't jump. I did a little bit.
I took it as a painkiller. You're making me sound like a druggie.
He took tramadol.
Anyway. Made me feel really
He didn't
bad.
even have a headache, he just took it.
But yeah, so let's all say what my final thought is. You do not need God to be a good person. I feel like you can be a moral person no matter what background you're in. I just feel like maybe religious people feel the need to be moral more, but I feel like if you need to justify a reason to be moral, that in itself isn't actually very moral.
No, because you're doing it
For your own gain, for your own personal gain.
Go to heaven, whatever it is.
So
it's not really.
that's my next person.
Well, yeah, I believe that you can be good without God. Like I said, there's plenty of good people that don't believe in God, and yeah.
Ross.
I think you can be good without God too. I made my point at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, anybody can be a good person. Doesn't need a god or a religion behind them to make them.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Any
That's
better
what I
than
mean. Like
anybody else.
you shouldn't need a justification
Yeah.
to be a good person.
Exactly.
You should
I mean,
just-
I'm not religious, and I've never committed any
That's the
crimes or
thing,
nothing.
if they're saying, I'm going to be good because I get into heaven, that might as well just be saying, like, if God doesn't exist, well, I'm just going to go out and kill people then because there's no repercussions.
Yeah, like that's why. Like you should just be a good person.
You should just be a good
Just
person, anyway.
there you go, kids. There's a message. Just be a good person.
And the more
You see an old lady fall over, giggle a little bit, and then go and offer her some help because it is funny, but still help her.
Seeing people hurt themselves is hilarious.
You shouldn't feel bad about laughing about stuff.
Yeah.
You should just
people laugh, it's social awkwardness because something bad's happened and you laugh.
because you don't know what else.
Well, actually, there was a perfect thing when Andrew was around here. Well, when we were around at Andrew's actually, and he started choking. Like I thought he was just playing around, but he was actually choking, and he ran out of the room and got water, and we were all laughing at him. And he was like, "Oh, thanks, guys."
I didn't realise you were properly joking though.
Yeah, I really
That was
was.
really
Yeah.
like Creed quotes from The Office. I didn't like that.
Oh me.
Alright, so we're going to
Anyway,
move on
we
to...
will be back in a second for our
Moving on
questions.
to-
So
But
that was our
topics
discussion.
afterwards.
Bye.
bye.
Bye.